knows that. If you look at every struggle for rights in this country and across the globe, it's because people came together. The people have the power. Let me say power! 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 Power!
Healthcare is a human right. It should be something that we all have access to. people. I think the most important thing is that we are all out here together. We are out here, men, women, black, white. We are out here to say, we're fighting back. That's what we're doing. All right, Joe. Pro-life is a lie. You don't care if women die.
Pro-life is a lie. You don't care if women die. Pro-life is a lie. You don't care if women die. Pro-life is a lie. You don't care if people die. Pro-life is a lie. You don't care if people die. Pro-life is a lie. You don't care if people die. Pro-life is a lie. You don't care if people die.
Pro-life is a lie.
You don't care if people die.
Pro-life is a lie.
You don't care if people die.
Pro-life is a lie.
You don't care if people die.
Pro-life is a lie.
You don't care if people die.
So that's such an important shit, y'all, because people will die. That's what this means. And that's, again, the same. People who don't have housing, people who don't have health care, people who don't have access to the very basics. But when you look at this city, Washington, D.C., there is deep, deep, deep poverty in this city. There are people who are not cared for, who do not have the basics. This city is deeply segregated. The vast majority of a lot of the black people who live in this city don't have the basics, and that is the government's fault. It's absolutely the government's fault. This is a racial justice issue. This is an issue for women. This is an issue for people all around the country, and that is why we are out here today. That is why we are pushing back. And when we look at healthcare overall, and when we talk about abortion, we know this is essentially a healthcare issue, and that people will die if we don't fix this. We know that everybody has always, or that people have always made access to abortion. We know that. The issue is whether it's safe. That's the issue. That's the issue. We've got a quick announcement.
Hey all, just really quickly, we have some deaf friends over here who would love if there's someone who knows ASL who could help them interpret. We're right up here, so just feel free to come forward. Thank you so much. We're gonna go right back to chanting.
Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate.
Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate. Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate. Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate. Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate.
Not the church,
Not the state. Women must decide their fate.
not the church,
Not the state. Women must decide their fate.
not the church,
Not the state. Women must decide their fate.
not the church,
Not the state. Women must decide their fate.
not the church.
Not the state. Women must decide their fate.
That's why we're all out here organizing. If we're not organized, if we're just individuals, we can't fight back. But we are all out here together as a group, collectively, pushing back together. That's the best thing you can do in moments like this. Look around you, find an organization that fits you, and join it. Join an organization. That way we can operate together. We can operate and plan together. That is the best way that we can fight this kind of thing back. And not just this, right? Because all of this is connected. All of this is connected. This government, in this same week, in this same month that they've decided to do this, and then they've decided to rip away basic health care rights for women, and again, that will disproportionately affect poor women, black women, brown women, women without access to a lot of health care options. They've also pulled any funding for COVID care for the uninsured during a pandemic. I don't know about you, but what that tells me is that this government country have always had to do. That's right. That's why we're out here today.
The people, united, will never be defeated.
The people, united,
Will never be defeated.
My check. My check. Shout out to our fam over there holding it down. Shout out to PSN. Cause who keep us safe? Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
I like that. I'm not sure, y'all, because y'all out here, but I'm really trying to find out who keep us safe.
We keep us safe.
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
So we gonna tell the Supreme Court, let us mind our bodies. We gonna mind our bodies. So right now, I want to welcome y'all to DC. I usually play the Welcome to DC song right now because I'm a DC native, right? So in this space, I want to center who's really affected here, and that's DC natives and people that's constituents of DC. Because first off, DC not even the state, and all y'all holding their grounds down, and they don't get to vote like y'all vote. But we're gonna talk about that in a minute, because somebody gonna tell y'all all about that. Second, I want y'all to know that it's black women. Black women is the most effective person that what's happening with this young lady. I want y'all to understand that I'm born and raised in Southeast, right across the river, right? I want y'all to understand why these pro-lifers out here talking about have a baby, choose a baby. People east of the river don't even have nowhere to have a baby. So be very clear that people east of the river don't even have a maternity ward to have a baby. Be very clear that people east of the river don't even have resources or health care to take care of a baby east of the river. So be very clear when you try to tell that black woman who may be suffering because they couldn't get maternity health care and risk losing their life by trying to have a baby and die, what the fuck to do with their body. And second, I want to be real clear. I'm not Chris Rock. I'll fuck you up. So don't anybody try to come on this stage right here while Hers Wildest Dreams is here, because this ain't that kind of party. Everybody do have freedom of speech, but mine, Hers Wildest Dreams space, right here, just us right here. Because we don't want no problems, but it can be some problems. I just want to be very clear on that, y'all. Now we're going back to business. Because I know y'all done had some people out here that think they can like overtake the white people. That's fine. But no, that shit ain't happening over here. Secondly, I want you to understand who Hers Wildest Dream is. Hers Wildest Dream is an abolitionist, woman-led, non-binary, LGBTQ organization. Holy shit, you walk in the spirit of Harriet Tubman. We walk in the spirit of Ida B. Wells. We walk in the spirit of Ella Baker. We do mutual aid. We're a community defense hub where we take care of the community. We do a defense hub where we do legal empowerment. Because right now, what's happening with this decision of reverse is criminalizing black bodies. And we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to be silent because we're the same time they're killing. Third, we're a political education and campaign organization. So we're going to educate you all today on what this reverse of Roe and Wade look like. Because I want to be clear. I don't know what they say. It's no Roe. I don't know what they're going to say because I'm still doing abortions. And if anybody need an abortion, be very clear, I'm going to take them to get one. I do things for what's legal, I do things for what's just. So be clear. If I feel it's justified why this black woman, or any woman, but right now I want to center black people because they're black women, because I stand with black women, because this rule right here is affecting majority black women. So I want to be clear that we rise rise up for people to have a choice on their bodies. Is your body your choice? Your body? Your body? Your choice. Your body? Your choice. Your body? Your choice. So if you choose to do what the fuck you want to do, what you do it. You want to have that baby, have that baby. You want to abort that baby, abort the baby. Ain't nobody going to take care of that baby for you. Y'all motherfuckers want to come over here and take care of the babies in Southeast? Okay, I ain't think so. Y'all can say that and y'all can walk them away from them clinics. But after y'all walk away from them clinics, where you at when the fucking baby here? You ain't here. And all the reason you know, I know you ain't here because I'm here. I know you ain't here because I'm here. And if I don't see none of y'all here, so be clear on that. And so, right now, Sam Masters here. I've been waiting for my girl Sam because this is what she do this shit. She live by this shit and she gonna give y'all some history on this and why this is important. Right? Because I'ma tell y'all, Sam will take your grandmama to get her abortion if your grandmama wanted one. Come on, Sam, come on, talk to the people.
When bodily autonomy is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When bodily autonomy is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
I know that's right. My name is Sam. I'm one of the co-leads of Free Black Mamas DMV. Come on, people. With Harriet's wildest dreams, Out for Justice, Life After Release, and we are a collective of Black directly impacted women working to end the incarceration of women and caretakers all across the DMV. No matter how you came into your womanhood, caretakers, because we know that we care for our communities. And we just got one thing to say. Fuck the rollback of Roe. About DC and at least Maryland, is that as long as we can keep getting abortions here, we know that we are going to be a welcoming space for our people all across the U.S. Get your abortions, get your care, get you some Hawker Brothers ice cream, get you some chili bowl, whatever you need to do. Okay? But we will be here to receive you with welcoming arms if your state closes the door to abortion access. We are not just pro-Black, not just pro-ho, not just anti-incarceration. Pro-abortion! Without exception. On demand abortion with no exceptions. Joe Biden, no exceptions. So I want to shout out all of the leaders of reproductive justice for bringing me some good and goddamn sense to come into how Black women, Black femmes, queer people, trans folks have been resisting for centuries. I want to thank the ancestors who made sure to make us know that it is our bodies and we have complete control over them, no matter what the state says. And I want to thank for making sure that y'all know, get the F off of our bodies, and that we will be here to make sure that people can continue to get abortions that they need.
Abortion is health care. Abortion is
Health care! Abortion is health care! Abortion is health care! Abortion is health care! Abortion is health care! Abortion is health care! Abortion is health care!
health care is a human right. Everybody should be able to have health care, and health care is abortion is health care.
are standing in Washington, D.C. This is your role because you're standing here right now, not because you live here, not because you're from here, but you're standing here right now. And you're standing on the steps of the Supreme Court because you believe in a human right. But did you know that even if everyone in D.C. believes in a human right and voted for a human right,
Could she say hi?
make that decision for ourselves? Essentially, what's taking place is that the Supreme Court is voting, potentially, right, to overturn Roe v. Wade and then to give it back to the states, so that the states can decide what happens. Now, I'm not from D.C. I love D.C., but I'm from Texas. Y'all already know what's happening. But though I'm from Texas, I'm from Houston. I'm from H-Town. H-Town, we don't play around. So I want to tell you why I'm here today. Let's talk a little bit about D.C. statehood. Back when the HIV epidemic was running wild in the United States, fuck Reagan. Folks in D.C. created a program where folks were able to turn in their needles to get clean needles. And we know that drug injection by needles was one of the major causes for the HIV epidemic and AIDS epidemic taking place and taking hold of our communities, especially in D.C. Well, the government overturned that decision, and because of that, AIDS and HIV rose to significant heights in the DMV region. We did not have the ability to protect ourselves in our communities. We did not have the ability to protect our LGBTQ community or our community who was struggling from any type of substance abuse issues. We did not have the ability to protect them and to give them the health care that they needed, which was at least just clean needles. Now we're in a situation back in 2014 where the DC Council passed a law that an employer could not discriminate against you based on your ability, based on your need to do anything related to your health or your child's health, to include abortion. In 2014, Ted Cruz introduced legislation, and in almost 35 years since what happened with the needles and HIV and AIDS epidemic, the Congress turned over a DC Council decision, and now an employer can discriminate against you based on your need to get an abortion, based on your need to take care of yourself and your family. Additionally, though we have our own budget, there are budget riders that prevent DC from being able to have government subsidized abortion. So we may get government funding, but we're not allowed to use that funding in order for people to get abortions if they need one. So the importance of that is you can stand here all day and all night and fight for abortion rights and fight for a woman's rights to decide what happens with her body. But even if this law passes or gets turned over, Congress still has a say in what black women do here in D.C. with their bodies. Congress still has a say in what happens when we decide what is best for us. So when you go back home and you go back to your city or your state and you vote and you do whatever it is that you do, you will be fine. And because I live in D.C., I won't be. And so when you go back home and you think about what you could be doing, please consider that you are standing here advocating in my home where I live, where I raise my children. And if you don't care about D.C. statehood, you don't care about black women.
Hey, Tucker, can we get a little more sound on this? The people in the back said they can't hear us. Hey, people in the back! Holler back! 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 So we gotta get a more sound. The people in the back can't holler back. It's COVID, so I don't really want y'all to come to the front either, y'all. Y'all be careful, because I ain't even gonna play y'all. COVID's still around. Y'all be careful now. Y'all take y'all vitamins, because COVID's still here. Don't y'all let them tell y'all it's not. Fuck that shit. It's here. Nah, but next, y'all, I want to bring my comrade, my other co-founder with Hers Wildest Dreams, who walk in the spirit of our ancestors. She a bad motherfucker, right? She does the Ought to Be Wells pillar, which does legal empowerment, right? Participatory defense. She the one that's going to keep these people out of jail when they try to take them to jail for having abortions. Kiana gonna be the one holding that shit down when you're a black woman. Just know that. she's formerly incarcerated, and she don't shy away at how this fucking system took her away, right? She don't shy away how the system took her away because they took her, they enslaved her, right? So I'm gonna let Kiana come and holler at y'all about what this look like criminalizing black women.
Who keep us safe? Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keep us safe?
We keep us safe.
Y'all, I'm fucking pissed off. I'm fucking pissed off. I'm sick and tired of the law getting involved in our shit. What business is it of anybody what I do with my body? And so all the
That's our
people who are
liberation
here
news.
talking about
Everything. This is our article recently about the Supreme Court.
where were you when these bodies were being gunned down in the streets in D.C.? How can you say you are pro-life when Conrad Hilton is gunned down by police? When so many black and brown bodies are gunned down in these streets. So shame on you. What we do with our bodies. And let me be a little bit more clear. I've had 4 abortions. Let's be clear. I have 2 surviving children. They are 23 black male and an 18-year-old black boy in this America who I am scared for every day. I'm scared for my black babies. But more importantly, if I would have had the other 4, when they ripped me away from my black babies and put me in a cage for 2.5 years, where were you? When I had to make that decision alone to where my children were going to be raised while I was sitting in a cage, where were you? So let me be very clear. And this ain't years and years ago, 1973. We are in 2022. Be clear, we are coming and we are bringing the smoke. So this is it? It's not. So to all of the people that think they have control over our bodies, it can limit me, can cage me, can criminalize me, can silence me. I say, fuck you. Because this is my body. It belongs to me. You don't get to say what I do with my body. Prosecutors don't get to criminalize what I do with my body. There are no judge that get to sentence me because I do what I want with my body. So let's be very, very clear. Somebody's phone is loud. This is one of our black mamas. I should answer it so you can hear. Because every year we bail out black mamas from out of cages who are separated from their black babies. From their homes and they don't give a damn. SCOTUS, POTUS, they don't give a fuck about us being separated from our black babies. So I make a decision with my body. What is it your business? So look around. Find an organization and make sure that you get connected to the work that is being done so that this criminalization, it cannot, say it cannot, it will not happen on my watch. It cannot, it will not happen on my watch. It cannot, it will not happen on my watch. Thank you. I told y'all that shit ain't gonna happen on Kiana Watch. Y'all thought I was bad, yo. Try messing with somebody, put them in the cage, yo. It's over for you. Next, I'm gonna bring Renee up here because Renee, she proud. Renee proud. Y'all see Renee's shirt? What Renee's shirt say? Somebody tell me what Renee's shirt say.
If you had an abortion out here and you knew you did what was best for you, raise your hand. You had a, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Fuck that shit. You did what was best for you. You made the best decision for your life. Right? Don't be ashamed. I got a girlfriend in Arizona. She has abortion showers. Shout out. Shout out my comrade. She be down there having abortion showers. I'm here for it. Come on, Renee, talk to the people.
Let me hear you make some noise! What she was talking about is Ale, one of the storytellers in the program that I run called We Testify. My name is Renee Bracy Sherman, and I run an organization called We Testify, where people who've had abortions talk about our shit. We talk our shit because you know what? We're not afraid of y'all no more. We're over. The stigma, the bullshit, y'all telling us to say nothing, it's over, done, period. Abortion is one of the most common procedures out there. I had an abortion when I was 19. And I thought I was alone. I swore up and down, only black girls that had abortions were me and me and Lil' Kim. Not true. But it's that shame and stigma that keeps us feeling alone. How many of y'all felt alone during your abortions, thinking you were the only one? But then you start talking to folks in your family, your friends, realizing all of us have had abortions because you know what? Abortion, alongside pregnancy, birth control, adoption, everything, surrogacy, that is how we make our families. Our abortions are nothing to be ashamed of. I know the antis be talking all about black women that, you know, we don't know what we're doing. We're being treated badly by the abortion providers. Let me tell you something. My abortion was some of the best health care I've ever had in my life. Because they listened to me. Because they held my hand. Because they showed up for me. And because you know what? They made sure no matter what the fuck any of these courts and states said, that they were there for me, no matter what. Now, one of the things that this court, they said that they're getting ready to overturn Roe, they're getting ready to overturn Casey, and we already knew that, right? I've been in this movement 10 years, Sam too, like we've been said that we knew that's what was happening, right? But the reality is that Roe has never been real for so many of us. Black and brown folks, queer and trans folks, anybody who's on Medicaid, Roe's never been fucking real. Do y'all know about the Hyde Amendment? For those who don't know, the Hyde Amendment is an amendment that Congress adds to the budget every single year and says that people who are enrolled in Medicaid do not get to use their insurance to pay for their abortions. Here's the thing. Democrats have held that up as a compromise for decades, for over 40 years. Our healthcare was a fucking compromise. Now, I know Joe Biden wants a big old high five because in 2019 he said, okay, fine, I guess I'll be against the Hyde Amendment because everybody else was already, right? And he left it out of his budget. Yeah, great job. But where the fuck is he right now? Where the fuck is Joe Biden? Where the fuck is Congress? Where the fuck is anybody who said if we voted for them, they would make sure that we would have abortion?
little bit, right? So I made a little website last year. It was called didbidensayabortionyet.org. And here's the thing, it's been over 460 days, and do you know when he finally said the word abortion? Not yesterday, today. Bitch, you're late! You are late! If I can stand up here and all of y'all, and we share our abortion stories, the least Joe Biden can do is say the word abortion as we are in this crisis. If you want to become the pro-choice president, you gotta act like a pro-choice president. If you want to be president of this United States, you need to fucking lead this United States. Over in the White House, even though I'm screaming, right? Because he's I don't know, in Alabama or something, not making comments about the fact that they're not going to have abortion in Alabama. He's not saying shit. This is the leadership that they keep asking us to vote for. And let me be clear, I do not want to lose the House, Senate, or the White House in November. But let's be fucking clear. November is too late. Stop using all of us who've had abortions as people that you will advocate for and vote for in November in hopes that you can get back abortion access, because if we lose it now, we are not getting it back. Queer folks, trans folks, incarcerated folks, immigrants, black folks, we are tired of being asked to show up for y'all, and y'all never show up for us. I'll tell you another little secret. Joe Biden won't even meet with people who've had abortions or provide abortions. Let me say that again in case y'all haven't heard. Joe Biden is refusing to meet with people who have and provide abortions, even after SB 8, even after this draft decision was leaked. He is refusing to meet with us. Shame on Joe Biden.
Shame on Joe!
Shame on Joe!
Shame on Joe! Shame on Joe! Shame on Joe!
And I want to
Shame on Joe!
I know I get reporters, and reporters listening, y'all gonna ask me this question later, and let me tell you what the answer is. Y'all be like, well, it's just a word. Who cares? Here's the thing. If saying the word abortion is free, and Joe Biden won't do it, how can I trust that he's gonna show up for us when it's a real decision? Joe Biden has turned his back on all of us who have abortions, and he cannot expect us to continue to show up for us any longer. He cannot continue to show up for us when he won't say the word abortion in his State of the Union speech, but he chants, "Fund the police" 3 times. You know what I want funded? I want abortions funded. I want abortion on demand at any point. Abortion at any point. Whenever you realize that you are pregnant and you do not want to be, you get to decide. We deserve abortions at any time and for any reason. Abortions at any time and for any reason. Now I'm getting a little cotton mouth, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But I just want to speak to all of y'all who've had abortions. Thank you. They brought me water. Y'all don't want me to leave? Hold on. Has anybody counted how many times I've said the word abortion? Because it's obviously more than Joe at this point. But here's the thing. There's two things I want to think about. What I want is for you all to, after you leave this rally today, I'm sure you're feeling real energized. You're wanting to get involved in your communities, and we need you. We need you to do three things. We need you to start making monthly donations to your local abortion fund. Monthly donations to your local abortion fund. And you can also volunteer with your local abortion fund. I volunteer right here in the DMV where I live to take people who are traveling. Let's be clear, it's not a red state or a blue state, because the most people I take for abortions are from Massachusetts, New York, and Illinois, where they claim there's going to be access, but there isn't access for later abortion right now. There isn't access for teenagers right now, because you know what? They sold us out when they did the little judicial bypass. So if you're under 18, you got to go to court. You got to engage with a judge and ask a judge for permission. That is not the promise of Roe, even at the bare minimum that Roe is. So I need you to get involved in your local abortion fund. Give up your time and give up your money. I also need you to get involved with your local independent abortion clinic. I am proud to say that I had an abortion at an independent abortion provider. Those are the clinics that are in your community. Those are your neighbors who are making sure abortion is accessible in your communities. They are your friends, your loved ones. And you know what? Sometimes other people in our communities are trying to sue them for doing that work. And we need to show up and show out for all of our abortion providing friends. So what I want you to do, after you find your local abortion fund, I want you to go to keepourclinics.org. There's a text number, but I don't remember what it is, so sorry. Somebody else can tweet it out or something. But keepourclinics.org, and when you donate there, they're going to make sure that the independent clinic stays in your community, that they have the money to pay payroll. Shout out also, let's be real. Oh, let's get into repro shit, right? Shout out to all of the clinic workers and abortion workers who are unionizing right fucking now. We work in abortion and we deserve a living wage, because everybody deserves a living wage, worker protections, and a fucking union. Stop donating to organizations that are union busting, even in repro. You want to know who they are? Google it. There's a list. Do your research. Yes. So support repro workers. Donate, support your independent clinics, because most of the states that have one clinic or two clinics, those are independent abortion providers, okay? So we need you to show up for them. Sometimes they want volunteers and sometimes they don't. So understand and recognize what they're looking for. Giving up money is super important. And then the third thing, I want you to understand. Pre-Roe, we did have a mix of both safe and unsafe abortions, okay? Today is the 50th anniversary. Anybody know about the Jane Collective? So I'm from the great state of Illinois, from Chicago. And the Janes were amazing women, black and Jewish women, actually. Shout out to solidarity. What they were doing was they were providing safe abortions to people who came to Chicago. 50 years ago today, they got arrested for their work. We need to keep their courage with us today. And we need to remember that our past, there were people who gave safe abortions, and yes, there were people who did bad abortions. But we need to focus on who gave the good abortions and emulate them as we continue this work. What you need to know is this. Self-managed abortion is not dangerous. Self-managed abortion with pills is safe. We have been self-managing our abortions for thousands of years, no matter what the fuck the court or any politician says. They started criminalizing abortion after slavery because it was all about controlling black people's fertility. Again, look it up. Great book, Killing the Black Body. But anyway, what you need to know is that someone can easily self-manage abortion, 1 mifepristone pill and 4 misoprostol pills 24 hours later. Where the risk is in people being arrested at hospitals, turned in by their friends, at schools. We need to get the information out there that people can safely self-manage their abortions. We need to stop criminalizing it, okay? And then the last thing I will say, I swear it's the last thing I'll say. To all of you who've had abortions, I know this moment is really, really hard. I have been terrified. I have not slept. No, I get it. I feel you. Because we know what our abortions meant to our lives. This is our moment to lead this work. This is our moment to share our stories. This is our moment to speak out. This is our moment to make sure everyone knows that they love someone who's had an abortion, and you are that person, and if they love you, they need to shut the fuck up for you. If they love you, hold up. I gotta go, but I do love you.
We keep us safe. So y'all, guess what we got? We're gonna bless those who need an interpreter, because Billy in the house. You y'all know Billy? That's the #1 interpreter here in D.C. You better know Billy. But who keep us safe? Who keep us safe? When we talked about D.C., how D.C. got one of the best laws when it comes to abortions and women having a choice over their body. Right, we got one of the best laws. D.C. are even funner abortion. That's how dope D.C. is. Shout out to my native city. So we can get an abortion for you. And with that being said, I got this tight ass councilwoman that, when I tell you, I'm organized for D.C. and anybody know I'm the modern day Herb Tubman. But if anybody mess with Janice Lewis, it's gonna be a problem. And I don't even do politics. Fuck politics. Be clear, y'all. I don't do politics. But if anybody fuck with Janice Lewis or fuck with laws that I don't believe in, I'll come to the rescue, like this Roe Wade. But it don't even matter. If they say no Roe, no Roe, fuck you, ho. We going to get an abortion. Let's go. So with that being said, I'm going to bring Janice Lewis George up here and let her holler at y'all.
I want to hear it. When our reproductive rights are under attack, what do?
Stand up like that.
When our reproductive rights are under attack, what do?
Stand up like that.
When our reproductive rights are under attack, what do?
Stand up like that.
That's right. We stand up and we fight back. My name is Janice Lewis George. I am a council member here in D.C. D.C. has always been a pro-choice city. But looming over our head has always been the fact that we don't have D.C. statehood. And because we don't have D.C. statehood, they always come and try to regulate how and what we do in our city with our healthcare system and what we can do with the women's bodies and people's bodies across this city. And so believe me, it's true. When we were battling HIV/AIDS in the 1980s, the district, we wanted to put in programs to make sure that we could care for people, needle exchange, all these things. What did Congress do? They blocked us from being able to do that. So it is a very real reality that with this ruling, despite what DC has on our laws, Congress can come over and they can determine what DC does in our city. So our women's lives are at stake. That's what's at stake for DC. I think my comrade is with me.
No, but like that's exactly what I meant. Like if we go, no.
District with so many other things. So when we talk about DC statehood and reproductive rights, they are one and the same.
No worries. This is science.
Because this is going to affect people who cannot afford, do not have the privilege. We need safe, legal abortion. And so when you put warfare in this country. About universal child care. We talk about universal health care. How dare you put a ban and then refuse to give us
policies tell us otherwise. So we're in this fight together. We have not just going to be women who are going to be impacted by non-binary, binary, trans. All of us are going to be impacted when they come. And so believe me when I tell you, if they come for abortion rights, they will come for interracial marriage. They will come for everything regarding our fundamental rights. So we have to be. So one last time, when they come for our reproductive rights, what do we do? Absolutely. And I'm happy.
It's not going to be the privileged people. Privileged people who sit in Congress. It's not going to be the privileged people who sit in the not the rich women, not the well-to-do women, not the women who sit on a plane and fly. People who are going to pay the price. The women who are going to pay the price are women who have been raped, who have been molested, who have been the victims of incest. Going to pay the price are those who are already working 2 jobs on less than enough to support a family, the women who are struggling to support the children they have right now. And right now, the Supreme Court turns their back on every one of those women. Turn their backs on those women. The Republicans in the House of Representatives turn their backs on those women. I say enough of turning our backs. We're going to turn around and go straight at I'm here today
because I am angry about what's happened, but I'm here today because I am determined that we will not let this opinion stand. What Roe versus Wade is the law of the land, that in a democracy we can damn well get a vote on the floor of the United States Senate. Prevented us from passing anti-lynching legislation and now keeps us from voting rights and from protecting a woman's right to access to abortion, then I say the time has come. We are and be heard. And we need to keep having this vote until we win it. And if that means we got to do it once, we got to do it twice, we got to do it right out until Election Day in November. And we will have every single person who still wants to protect the filibuster. That's what it's going to take to make change in the Senate. In America, where abortion was illegal. I live in America where women died, bled to death from back alley abortions. I live women killed themselves rather than face the consequences of a devastating infection. So here's the answer. We are not going back. Not ever. Are we going back? Are we going back? Are we going back? Congresswoman Troy Bush and Ayanna President. And I bet you all they at the event talking about hell no, we're not going back. Right? So with that being said, I got a little young little Conway who's in this movie work doing the work class. She's a young college student. Like a young college student. I'm going to give you all her perspective of what this looks like for us. For people her age, tell me. All
criminalized, about how women are incarcerated for stealing formula for their babies. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? And you know what's going to happen with this Roe v. Wade? People are going to be incarcerated for choosing the fate of their own bodies. Does that make sense to you? That makes sense to you? Then why does capitalism make sense to you? And let me explain, just in case there's some people are like, right? You're like, where's this girl coming from? Well, let me explain to you. There are people making money off of people being in prison. This has nothing to do with the for-profit prison. The government makes money off of people being incarcerated. I want everyone to buy this book today. It's called Shackled and Chained by Eugene Ferrier. It's about the foundation of mass incarceration in this country.